Okay, so this is going to be a continuation of the training that I have up here. So if you are in the training, the power content overview is going to be up above this video. If you haven't watched that video yet, I highly recommend it, because I'm not going to go into why I start with power content and all of that fun stuff, because it's all up in that video. We're all about now trying to keep these trainings short and sweet, right? Because we all have stuff to do. And so today we are going to talk about two $5 a day power content ad strategies that have just been crushing it. And because I like to upgrade and update this program on a regular basis, I figured that I would show you guys two different ways that we have been running power content over the last several months with my private students and my private clients that have been working just as well as I originally created power content. Okay. Now, for those of you guys who don't know, I have been running power content for years. As a matter of fact, it built my business to 7 figures and well on beyond. Okay. $5 day ads. And this is something that whenever I first started 4.5 years ago, a lot of people told me, and a lot of people told my agency clients, that it was a waste of money to run these power content ads. But after the iOS update, guess who was very fortunate that they were running video ads? I was, and my clients were happy, right? As a matter of fact, about 3.5 years ago, once my agency was like, I mean, it was I still had open slots, but we were so close to like filling all of the seats. A couple of my clients went to Funnel Hacking Live, and guess what happened? A whole bunch of ad experts told them that I was bringing them in the wrong direction by running video ads. So I lost clients, but the clients that did stick to me were all very happy that they were running these power content ads during iOS. I'll give you guys an example. 2 of my clients are in the health industry. Their audiences are no longer targetable, but because over the last 3.5 years, I had been running video ads to those audiences, they are still in my client's ecosystem. So we're still getting results. Okay. So very, very important, right? You guys are going to learn in this program that I've got 20 years of television experience. I know I just dated myself. I started television in 2002. I worked for ABC. I worked for CBS. I worked for HGTV. I have worked for a lot of big brands. As a matter of fact, I was still working in television whenever I started my business here. And with this was just kind of a side hustle. And then I started teaching people this power content strategy. This power content strategy was not something that I made up from the internet. It's actually the way that we launched television shows and TV. And so I just took everything that I did whenever I applied, right? That whenever I worked in television, I looked at content in a way like from brand awareness to what do we want people to take action, and then what are we going to send them every day? So if you think about it, right? Whenever a new show on TV launches, it's kind of like that brand awareness, like, hey, this is like the best of the slides of the show, right? But then what do they send you next? Specific episodes. So if we look at that as top of funnel, middle of funnel, right? So I just basically took what I learned in television and applied to these very low cost ad strategies, because whenever I worked at CBS, we were just running awareness ads. We weren't really running a lot of conversions, because what are we going to convert people to, right? We're converting them to viewers, but not using the conversion campaign. So I thought, well, what if we could take that same concept, television advertising, super expensive, Facebook ads, YouTube ads, super cheap. I know a lot of you guys are like, they're not cheap. Compared to what you would pay for any other type of advertising platform, they're very cheap. And you have a really big opportunity right here. Okay. So we're going to get into the 2 ads that are killing it with my private clients. Okay. Now, what is power content? Okay. Like I said, if you haven't watched this video, that's going to be up here above this video. Make sure that you watch that, because it's got kind of like an overall view. But at the end of the day, power content is high value content that helps give clarity to our audience on what we have to offer. Okay. It should fill some type of gap that's keeping people from getting where they want. Okay. Now I get this question all the time, Laurel, does power content apply to e-commerce? Does power content apply to brick and mortar? It applies to every single niche or business that is sitting in this room right now. It does not matter, right? Whether you, like if you own an e-commerce store, you still have to figure out, how do I fill the gap that my audience needs with this product, right? If you have a brick and mortar, how do you fill the gap that your audience wants with your business? I'll give you two very clear examples. So one, okay, let's say that you own a pizza shop. Total transparency, that was my first agency. I service pizza shops. So one of the pizza shops, how did they fill the gap in the marketplace? One, they were a New York style pizzeria in Phoenix, Arizona. What made them different than everyone else? They flew in their water from New York. How freaking cool is that? New York water tastes very different than Phoenix water. So of course the water in the dough is going to make the dough taste different, right? Yep. Chris has seen me say this story before, and they had parking in the downtown location. Very rare. A lot of places downtown don't have parking. So those are two angles that we could take in our power content to fill the gap of where our audience wants to be, right? If you are an e-commerce business, right, we have to figure out what gap is your product filling, right? Like I'll just grab something randomly here. So I'm just grabbing this very weird tripod that like folds and bends and does this all kinds of stuff, right? If I'm an e-commerce brand, who do you think is going to value this the most? Probably like influencers and people who are making money from video, right? What if you had a tripod that could fit in your backpack that you could take anywhere, even on the road, and could still shoot your content, right? Yes, content creators, right? This is filling a gap, right? You can take this on a plane. You can take this in your backpack. It's small. It does everything that a regular tripod can do, right? That is filling the gap. Most people who are going to try to market this product will just take a picture of it, right? And then be like 40% off sale, get this bendable tripod, right? The best way to sell this is to go and do power content showing how easy this is to use. So you put it in your backpack, you go and you wrap it around a tree. It's very visual, right? So it does not matter whether you are a coach, a service provider, e-commerce store owner, brick and mortar, we all need to figure out how are we filling the gap for our audience, okay? That is step one. Now, our content is built to generate leads in two ways, okay? Number one, those who watch 25% or more of the video get put on an invisible list. Going back to the story of my agency clients, right? Pre-iOS, we put all of those people who had help interest in an invisible list that we can continuously retarget as long as they keep consuming our content on the platform. One of the things that you guys are going to learn about this program, and I'm going to shake this a lot because I have to have something in my hand all the time. One of the things that you're going to learn in this program is that I often, almost always, like to use ad strategies where I don't need to rely on pixel data. Why? Because it's fragile. We don't know when it's going to go away. It's not very accurate, right? And so I like to build my ad strategies around as many things that we can utilize that is not going to have to depend on pixel data, okay? The second way that we're going to build a leads using power content is they start conversations. It's the fastest path to cash. How many of you guys have heard that? You're going to hear me say it a lot. Fastest path to cash is conversations. A lot of times people want to build this very large funnel just to have a conversation with someone that they could just literally send a direct message to. We get into, and I will say this, and I saw this from a very credible source, and he was right. And it's so funny because I'm preparing you guys for this, and they said, you know, selling high ticket is going to be hard moving forward unless you have a call setter in place. I 100% agree with that because the cost per lead is getting higher and higher and higher. So unless you are constantly following up with your leads, you're going to lose a lot of money. But don't worry, I got you guys covered in this program because we are worlds ahead of everyone else. If you are following the structure of my program, you're worlds ahead of everyone else because I love teaching you guys how to have conversations. And you guys are like, well, if I'm a brick and mortar, why do I need to have conversations? I'll give you an example. So let's say You post a piece of you post a piece of power content about, you know, the pizza, right? Hey, come check out our pizza shop. You know, and he's holding up a pizza. Hey, our pizza actually tastes like New York. Why? Because we fly down the water straight from New York, right? He's got a thick New York accent. And he's like, as a matter of fact, I'd like to invite you to come try the pizza. Drop me a line below this video and I will give you a buy one, get one for a slice of pizza. And if you don't like it, I will give you your money back. What are the odds of someone dropping a line below that video, talking to that owner or an employee in Messenger, and then handing that coupon? What are the chances of that person actually going and trying out the place, right? Now, a warning, you cannot out-advertise a bad business or bad customer service. I'm going to say that one more time. You cannot out-advertise a bad business or horrible customer service. I actually added horrible customer service, right? A lot of businesses do not struggle because they lack leads. They struggle because they lack the ability to keep the leads coming back. And that is very true. So we're going to learn in this program a lot of ways that my advertising background and my customer service background is going to help you keep not only bringing new leads into your business, but nurturing people and actually forming relationships. And so that's why we do things a little bit different here. It's not all about conversion. It's about building relationships. And that is why these 2 $5 ads crush it every single time. Okay. So I'll show you guys version number 1. Okay. For those of you guys who've been following me for a while, you guys are very familiar with this. Okay. Now I'm not going to tell you guys how to create power content. We already have that in the program. Okay. So I'm not going to waste time teaching today stuff that's already in the program, but I'm going to add additions and just update it. Okay. And I'm going to take out the stuff that's outdated. So if you guys are familiar with me, this is the version 1. Okay. It is a piece of power content, 3 to 5 minutes long. It has a headline, promise of value, and a CTA for someone to drop me a line with this video so that I can have a conversation with them in Messenger. Okay. Now, one of the things that I want to point out, because a lot of you guys need practice with this. Okay. I'm going to give you guys some expectations. Your first pieces of power content are going to freaking suck. Okay. They're going to suck. You're going to hate them. They're not going to do well. They're going to suck, and it's okay. It happens to all of us. We have to get good at doing this, and it takes practice. The way that I got really good at this was, well, I was behind the camera for 20 years in television. So I was in front of a lot of people who did this really well. But whenever I first launched my business in April of 2018, I went live every freaking day for over 100 days. What do you think happened at the end of those 100 days? I not only had booked out my ad agency, I had also booked out my entire high ticket program, my beta, my very first program, all utilizing Facebook Live, not even an ad in sight. Total transparency, guys. I made my first and second 6 figures all organic with freaking Facebook Live, one platform. So many of you guys are trying to do too many platforms at one time before you're even getting straight on one. 100 days. If you go live 100 days, follow this formula, your business will be very different. I can guarantee it. If you go live every day for the next 100 days, follow my formula, come to these calls, use the Ask Laurel thread, your business will be very different in 90 days. I can guarantee it. Now, one of the things too, yeah, Barb was actually one of the first people. So Barb, who just commented, she bought my very first program. If you look at this, one of the things that I want you guys to take note, what am I doing in that headline? Is your goal to book more discovery calls this month? Don't use this funnel. Being very polarizing, right? I'm not talking to all coaches, consultants, and course creators. I'm talking to a very specific type of person. For those of you guys asking what platform, I'm actually going to show you guys this on YouTube and Facebook. We're going to talk both of those platforms today, because I do believe that if you guys applied this to Facebook and YouTube today, it's going to make a huge difference. Because what happens if your Facebook ad account gets shut down? You have YouTube to fall back on. So I'm going to show you guys how I do $5 ads on Facebook and YouTube. I'm not going to do any of the walkthroughs because that's already in the program. but I'm going to link them as a resource underneath this video. But what I want you guys to understand about this is this ad right here is very polarizing. I'm trying to get people who are using call funnels with this specific video. Why? Does anyone want to guess at what I'm doing with this specific video? I'm segmenting my audience. I'm dividing them into invisible lists, right? Because then I could retarget everyone who's watched certain videos, not only on YouTube, and we'll talk a little bit about why now this is more relevant on YouTube than ever. I'm going to tease you guys about that. We're going to talk a little bit about that, but I'm segmenting my audience. Guess what? Next time I run my discovery call accelerator, guess who I'm retargeting? All these people who are watching videos about discovery calls, right? I do other videos based on the type, I retarget based on the type of videos that my audience is watching. I'm very polarizing. So this is the framework: headline, promise of value, CTA in the copy. That's all that goes in the copy, okay? And then you guys have the frameworks for the video. I'm not going to go over that, but that's version 1. $5 a day. I'm going to show you guys how I launch these and everything. Let's go to version 2. This is a new thing, okay? Version 2. I'm going to highlight my client Doreen here. Super cool woman. She is a school counselor, and she helps students and parents get into the college of their dreams in a very accelerated way. How many of you guys have kids in college? Remember the college application process? It is a nightmare. It is like a journey that starts when you are a sophomore in high school. And so she's a school counselor with a side hustle who literally has this program where she'll help the students and parents in a done with you sort of way, or in a very high ticket way, like I'll do the whole process for you. I'll submit all your applications. I'll fill out all your stuff. Very awesome offer. So here, Doreen, she's like, I don't want to reach out to people. So if you notice this one, right, that's where people comment. I said, drop me a line below and I'll shoot it over in Messenger, right? Doreen's like, I don't want to do that. Like, can we just set up the Messenger? And I was like, yeah, absolutely, we can. Let's test this. It works really, really well. She's got 74 comments, 26 shares. And she's giving away a free junior checklist. So if you guys know, like my power content typically has video content and some type of freebie, right? So if you're e-commerce, BOGO, brick and mortar, free coupons, buy one, get one, whatever. If you're a coach, consultant, service provider, some type of thing that's high value. And so she's got a free junior checklist of everything that needs to be done before senior year. Hit send message below and ask me for it in Messenger. So what this does is, and also I've had a lot of people say, you know what? My niche is health related. I don't think people are going to raise their hand and admit that they have a health issue. Or someone, I had another private client who is a coach for helping people land better jobs. And he's like, I think my audience might be scared that their boss or someone might see that they're trying to land a better job. And so we came up with the solution. Like, what if we just had them hit a button so that they can just go straight to Messenger and skip the comments part, right? Now you're still going to get comments. Look at this. Doreen still had 74 comments that I had to like help her find and go reply to. This works really, really well. Remember, the goal of power content is to generate leads in 2 different ways. Those who watch 25% or more of the video get put on an invisible list, and they start conversations. Fastest path to cash. I will say this, doing this organically made me a very, very lot of money. Lots and lots of money, right? So Cindy asked the question, what are the pros and cons between the 2 versions? There are no cons. I guess the only con would be in this version. You have a lot of comments to get back to, but I don't think anyone ever complained they had too many leads, right? Or too many conversations. But seriously, like I did this literally. Took me a long time to really like figure out this formula. When I first went live, the formula didn't look like this. I didn't have a value bomb. That's what we call them, a value bomb, like a cheat sheet or something free that people are just like, I cannot believe Laurel just gave me that for free. Now, here's the thing, because a lot of people are like, well, no one's taking my value bomb. I'm like, well, it's probably because it was a throwaway thing and it wasn't really that valuable to your audience, or they didn't understand the value of it, right? One of the things, and I'll just grab something right here. So one of the things that I found that works well for people raising their hand in a comment sort of way is like, let's just pretend this is the value bomb. Actually showing the value bomb on camera. Hey, and by the way, just for watching this video, I want to give you this thing that is going to enhance the thing that I'm about to show you in the video, right? Pattern interrupt. It breaks up the pace of the video, okay? If you're having issues getting people to want your value bomb, either one, reevaluate. Is this something that my audience really wants? Is it too confusing? Because I see a lot of people trying to make a value bomb fit in with the video. So I'll just show you guys how the value bomb that I gave away here fit in with the video. It says, give me 5 minutes and I'm going to walk you through why one of the most popular funnel fails to convert quality calls, but not all is lost. I'll show you how to change the one thing that will start attracting people ready to work with you. Want to see the 30-minute training I did for my premium students that goes more in depth and shows you what type of ads to run? Drop me a line below and I'll shoot you in Messenger. You see how valuable I made that? Like, this is a training that I only share with my private clients that pay me X amount of dollars every month. And I'm going to give it to you for free. Just drop me a line below this video. A lot of people are scared to give away super valuable things. Me, I will give away, like this video was given to people who pay me $1,000 a month for access. We have to give away things that are super, super valuable. Angela just asked a really good question. Doesn't it take forever to respond to all of those though? What does that mean if I have too many messages that I cannot get back to? I am making money, right? That is when, I'm glad she asked that question. I'm glad that she asked that question, right? No, you don't need to hire a VA. Fuck no. Sorry, excuse my language, but fuck no. I am not leaving my money in the hands of a VA. This is still a task that I do myself to this day. Why would I want to put a VA in the hands that makes me a lot of freaking money? Right? Yeah, get it. You guys understand? Like, seriously. Too many people are handing their business to other people. Like, why would I want to put anyone in charge? Like, the one thing that I still do is have conversations. Like, that is the one thing I am not letting go of. And by the way, if you see me not do these types of videos anymore, why is that? Charlene, I'm going to pick on Charlene because Charlene was one of my private clients. Charlene, why do I not need to do this anymore? Why do I not need to do 2 steps anymore? She's like, oh shit, she just put me on the spot. Oh, she can't speak. Oh, sorry. There we go.
Well, don't you still do them? Because I know you already have enough conversations going and you have enough traction, and you can just go back and like refresh a post that you already did without doing anything new, and that will generate new conversations. So the fact that you have so much content and enough of an audience, you don't really need to be doing more, but I know you're still doing it. So
nailed it. Yep. When I'm bored, my wife is like, why are you doing that? Like, I have so many inbound leads, guys, in my messenger. Like, have you guys ever sent me a message? And I know Charlene has sent me a message and I'm like, oh shit, I'm so sorry. My messenger is a shit show. I still like the messenger thing is like, I have a VA like managing my messenger, but I still like handle all of the most important things, especially when I do these 2 steps. I don't need to post as many anymore because I get too many inbound messages. Like, I get so many inbound, but I'm still doing the videos. I just don't need to do the value bomb drop anymore because people just message me now because I just ran these $5 ads that I'm teaching you guys for 4.5 years now. I've been consistent. And guess what? All of those people who told my clients not to run videos, guess what offer they're running now? Teaching people how to run video ads, right? To protect them against the iOS. Same freaking people who scared my clients 3.5 years ago. Had lots of clients come back and be like, hey, remember that person that told me that I'm sorry. Like, and I lost a lot of clients at that time. So I tell you guys all of this because If you do nothing but this strategy and learn how to do it really well and be of service to people in these conversations, you will get a lot of clients. So Cindy just asked the question, is 2 steps inviting their request and sending it, what that versus the value bomb? It's 2, okay. So here's my process, okay? I'll actually link a video that I actually did. I want to say I did it for Charlene, actually. I did a Loom video walking through my messenger, what happens in a messenger conversation, how to take people from comment to messenger. Here's the important thing, but like I said, I'm going to link that resource below this video. We want to, again, right? Power content is to generate leads 2 ways. 1, to build our invisible list, or 2, they start conversations, right? If someone is in my messenger asking for me for this 30-minute training, my very first thing that I'm going to do is I'm not going to drop that training. A lot of you guys make that mistake, but if you pay close attention to the training, because I have a 2-step training, but I'm going to give you guys an updated one. The whole point of this is to have a conversation, not just to give them something for free. Otherwise, we've squandered an opportunity to talk to someone. I'll give you an example. So let's pretend Charlene commented on this, right? She says, hey, I want this. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to comment back to Charlene and say, hey, Charlene, are you running a, let's see, how many calls a month are you getting right now in your coaching business? Why am I doing that in the comment? I'm kind of starting the conversation pre-qualifying, right? A little bit, so I can kind of gauge. So let's say she's like, well, I'm only booking about 5 calls a month. I'll be like, awesome. I'm going to hit you up in Messenger and let's talk about the type of funnel you're using. I bring that conversation. Hey, Charlene, I'm messaging you because we just had a conversation on my post about you getting discovery calls. Just curious, what type of funnel are you using right now? She comes back and she's like, well, you know, I was in a coaching program and they told me to set up an ebook funnel. I'll message her back and say, oh, that's one of the worst types of ways to get discovery calls. Actually, I'm going to show you this training that I did with my private clients because I think this will be of help to you. And when you finish watching it, let me know what you think. Now, if she would have said that she's doing something else, or or maybe like, hey, I'm not even using a funnel, would I give her that resource? Probably not. I'll probably have a better resource for her, right? I'll probably give her my ads to power offer training. So what I want to show you by me explaining this whole process is because we get so caught up in, we got to give someone something for free, got to give something for free. The whole point of this strategy is to have a conversation, give that person a win so that they build trust, rapport. They might not be sold right then and there in Messenger, but we just built that relationship and they're going to recommend 5 more people to my program. I guarantee it. And so it's all about like trying to figure out. Now, this value bomb has a direct offer to join my Lean on Laurel program. So all of these value bombs that I'm giving people have the CTA in there. I don't have to do it in Messenger. Because a lot of people are like, well, how do I make the pitch in Messenger? I'm like, you don't. If you do this the right way, they will ask you, how do I work with you? Barb, going back to Barb, man, she was one of my first students, and I'm always grateful for people who trusted me early on. I never forget, Barb and I were on a phone call, and Barb, what I think the value bomb was, hey, I'm going to give you a free strategy call or something. I don't even remember. And I was saying goodbye to Barb, and Barb's like, wait, you didn't pitch me. How do I work with you? That's what we want to happen. We want people to ask us, how could I work with you? How do I get more of this? If you do it right. So some people asked, do you use the Messenger objective or do you use the video view objective? Great question. So there are two ways that you can do this. Let me back out of this. Let's see. There we go. So you could do one of two things. You could use the video view objective and use your messenger link as the link in the ad and optimize it for video views, or you can use a messenger ad. Either way. In this case, we're using a messenger ad. So Crystal asked a question, how does this work if you don't want someone to really work with you, but you want them to eventually buy your digital product? This is how I sold the first 400 seats to my $7 program. That tells you anything. This is literally how I sold my $7 program 400 times. Value bombs, power content, people. And then inside the value bomb, I had, I'll help you with ads every single month. You get 2 Zoom coaching calls. You get weekly Q&A for $7 a month. And it inside the value bomb just had a direct button to buy my $7 program. Here's the thing. If I get someone in Messenger, I almost have 100% close rate for a $7 program. So if you're like wanting to start a membership or anything like that, and you already have your high ticket, like this is a really good strategy just to have the conversation with people. Because even if they don't ever buy my Lean on Laurel program, it's cool. I built rapport with them. They're going to buy my $7 program. They're not only going to buy my $7 program, they're going to buy something else. They're going to tell 10 of their friends. And they're going to comment on all my ads about how fabulous I am because they're going to remember that messenger conversation that I had with them. It's worth the time. Like going back to that question that, that someone asked a while ago is, doesn't it take you a lot of time? Yes, I have delegated almost everything else in my business except this part of it. I don't answer emails. My assistant takes care of that. I haven't looked at email. Charlene will tell you this because I tell this story all the time. I've not looked at a single email since March of 2021. My mentors told me to stop doing that, delegate that. He told me to focus 100% on engaging with my audience, and I would be just fine. And guess what? My business every single year, it doesn't do this. It does this. And Charlene, she's like, Andy, who's an email person. Which, by the way, Charlene, someone asked me for your contact information after seeing your power content. So hopefully they reached out to you. If not, I'll hook you guys up in Messenger. They saw one of your pieces of power content that I sent them for our little experiment. And he's like, how do I reach out to her? Okay, you guys ready for some fun stuff? I know we're having a lot of fun here, but the advantage with targeting for power content. Okay, let me spotlight my video so you guys can see. Okay. I'm not a very good drawer, but you guys will get the point. It's an upside down funnel. So when we're targeting, and I'll show you guys how this is going to work for both YouTube and Facebook or TikTok. I actually have like a new TikTok training in the program if you guys haven't noticed yet, and I'm about to add another. This is always who we want to target first, right? We want to start narrow and go more broad, okay? So this is narrow, right, and broad. This is scale. Which, by the way, YouTube is a scaling platform. Okay. So people always are like, well, who do I need to target first? I always say you're warm, retargeting, or like they say, remarketing on YouTube. That's always going to be your low-hanging fruit. So whenever I first launched my $5 a day ads, who do you think I launched them to? If you guys were listening, think really hard about what I said a while ago. To that person who asked, what if I have a digital product? Who do you think the first people I sent my power content ads to? I didn't have a list. You guys weren't listening carefully. What did I do in Messenger? How many people did I sell my $7 program to in Messenger before I launched a single ad? right? I sold 400, but more than 400 people had hit that had hit my $7 page, right? So here's what I did. You guys are going to love this. So whenever I first started, I strategically did not create a business page. So I was using my profile. That was it. Focused all on my profile. When I launched my $7 program, I had a sales page, installed the pixel on it. Even though I wasn't running ads, why did I do that? I knew I was going to be sending traffic to that $7 offer, qualified traffic, right? That I was using with these 2 steps organically, right? So not only did I have the people who had hit my $7 offer page, also, I converted my Facebook profile into a business page. What happens when you hit merge profile and you create a business page out of your profile? You could do that. I'm not sure if you could still do it, but I did it. I think you could still do it. What that does is that literally creates a carbon copy of your profile and brings all of your friends as followers on that page. And it lets you choose which content you want to bring over. So what I did was I brought over all of my friends that were now likes on my new Facebook business page. I strategically built my friends list for this over 8 months because I knew this is what I was going to do. So now I had almost 4,000 people on a brand new business page, all whom I had handpicked as my personal, like, ideal clients. So now I had people who had visited my $7 page, plus I had my friends that were on my profile. Now, I wasn't talking about my friends. Like, I actually very strategically weeded out my friends, and I wanted to do this for business. And then it brought over all of my pieces of power content. Now, how many of you guys think I excluded the people who bought my $7 program? Charlene knows. No. Why did I not? Social proof of people commenting on my ads telling me how freaking awesome my program is. Got the social proof on the ads. Actually sent it to a couple of people. Barb was probably one of them. Just, hey, here's 3 pieces. Can you go comment about how awesome, my $7 program is? But that's low-hanging fruit. A lot of people don't realize that. That's why we can get away with $2 ads, retargeting. So all of this is all in the program. Remember, we're trying to start narrow and go more broad. Way too many people want to go way broad, way too fast. I like to start small. And there's a reason and strategy as to why I like to do that, okay? So that's the first audience, right? You're warm, you're retargeting. Then you've got the independent, right? The indie audiences. For instance, like Amy Porterfield, right? Dan Henry, Russell Brunson, all of these people, right? So whenever I run my pieces of power content, I will run them to one interest on Facebook. One interest on Facebook. We'll talk about how we do this on YouTube here in a little bit. I start there. Here's why. This is what a lot of people don't talk about. If you try to run, everyone know who Amy Porter? I'll just say Russell Brunson. Okay, I think everyone here knows who Russell Brunson is. A lot of people, if you've ever tried to run a conversion ad to Russell Brunson, it's pretty freaking expensive. So I mean by one interest, so I'm only going to target Russell Brunson. That's what I mean. Very simple. One interest. I'm just going to put in one thing in the detailed targeting of Facebook. Video ads reach a different cycle of audience. Think about this. If I'm running a conversion ad to Russell Brunson, his audience, Facebook is only going to show it to 10% of people who are likely to convert. If I run a video view ad to Russell Brunson's audience, which by the way, all of the gurus hate running video ads. Why? Because they think they're a waste of money. So money for me, right? I can get my content in front of a very expensive audience for very cheap. Independent, one interest. Then you keep going up in that. Everyone right here should probably be playing here, okay? Everyone should be playing here right now, probably. So one of the things, does anyone know what Google just did that made a lot of YouTube marketers really mad? Does anyone know? Okay. So used to, you could target placements, meaning I could put a YouTube video in front of Russell Brunson's subscribers on YouTube or in front of Russell Brunson's specific videos on YouTube. I'll show. Also, I used to be able to put in certain keywords and YouTube would show my YouTube ad in front of videos that contained these keywords. And then they also had something that we called topics, which I never really used. Yes, Cindy, guess what? If you're running conversion ads, you cannot no longer target those as of this week. Do you guys see where I'm going with this? But guess who can still target these? People who are running power content on YouTube. Strategically think about this. This is all the low-hanging fruit, right? That's low-hanging fruit. If you run your power content here, what are we going to do? Create marketing audiences of people for super freaking cheap that we could run $2 retargeting ads and still reach. So just so I'm clear, yes, it's available for conversion for pay-per-view ads, but not pay-per-click ads. So I just kind of want, do you guys see, like, my strategy keeps outliving all of these changes. So I'll show you guys something. So I'll remove the spotlight. Okay. Here's how I set up these ads, and don't worry, all of the step-by-steps are going to be underneath the resources for this video. Okay, here's what I do with YouTube power content. Okay, and don't worry, the walkthroughs are simple. I actually have a video that goes with this. That's me actually on YouTube doing this for you. So these are the only audiences I run until scale. Audience 1, competitor placements. I pick 30 to 50. So I'm picking Dan Henry, Pat Howell, Russell Brunson, Russ Ruffino, Sam Ovens, Alex Becker. All of my competitors, I'm putting all of them, and I want my videos in front of their subscribers. Marie Forleo, Amy Porterfield. This is YouTube. This is YouTube. Audience number 2, specific keywords. I am targeting every single YouTube video that has high ticket coaching offer. Why am I doing high ticket funnel, high ticket sales funnel? Competitor keywords. Instead of telling Facebook I want it in front of these videos, I want it in front of videos that contain my competitors' keywords. So let's say Alex Hormozi does a video with Dan Henry. I want my video in front of that. Let's say anyone's doing anything with Dan Henry. I want my video in front of that. You guys know who I target on YouTube now, Dan Henry. I have a lot of videos with Dan Henry. I hung out with him one day and we shot a lot of content. So it makes sense, right? So competitor keywords. So I not only use it in the placements, but I also use it as a keyword. Now, custom intent audiences, I explain it in the video. I'm not going to go into here. But these custom intents are custom audiences that you could build on. Now, these two you can still use for conversions as well. Okay, these are the ones that got taken away. These are the ones that you could still use for conversions, and so you could see we're going up the ladder. So these would be here. Custom intent audiences, I can literally make audiences based on the search terms. So if people are typing in Dan Henry Amy Porterfield, all of that, I can create audiences based off of that. These are the ones that you could still. Now, again, this is where YouTube has to go broad, right? Google has a lot of data. So these two are harder because they're more broader. They're up here on the scale. These are the low-hanging fruit along with the independent audiences like on Facebook, right? And so this is what I would do. Campaign number 1, $5 a day, custom intent audience competitor searches. Video number 2, I pick one of these. I would run 3 different videos. Now, each of these, so this is where it differs. And don't worry, I go through this in the training. That's step-by-step. That's going to be under this video. 1 campaign, 1 ad group, 1 ad, $5 a day. So this is different. On Facebook, we would have 1 campaign, 3 ad sets, and 3 different ads, right? 1 ad per ad set. Here, we're going to do 1 campaign, 1 ad group, 1 ad. So it operates a little bit different. For Facebook, this is how I set this up. So let's say ad set 1, we could do detailed stack or independent. However, don't worry, I explain it in the training. But let's say ad set number 1, Amy Porterfield, video 1, $5 a day. I would duplicate, change nothing at the ad set level. So meaning I'm still targeting Amy Porterfield at $5 a day. And I'm just going to replace video number 1 with video number 2. I'm going to duplicate that, change nothing at the ad set level, except change video number 2 to video number 3 in the ads. So this would be 3 ad sets under 1 campaign, each at $5 a day. So this would be $15 a day. You guys with me? There's a step, don't worry, there's a step-by-step in this video that's going to be below this. But this is literally how I set up my power content for Facebook. And so if you have a warm audience, I will also duplicate. I'll change out Amy Porterfield and I'll run to video number 3, duplicate, warm audience, video number 2, duplicate, warm audience, video number 1. So I will run warm traffic to power content as well. This works really well to re-engage people who might not have engaged with you in a while. So for instance, whenever I get new private clients, they'll be like, man, I haven't engaged my email list in a really long time. We'll upload the email list to Facebook. Heads up, Facebook will only find about 60% matches because the email has to match the name that the email that they registered with Facebook. But power content's a really good way to engage people who once engaged with you before. Also, think about this. How many of you guys have ever ran traffic to an ebook or some type of landing page or something, right? A lot of people don't think to do anything with the people who don't opt in. Let's say I'm running a webinar and I'm getting people to opt in for my webinar. Industry standard, 20 to 30% are going to opt into a webinar. I'm paying Facebook for 100% of the traffic that's hitting my landing page, right? Most marketers only do something with the 20 or 30% of people who actually opt in. What I like to do is I'm like, cool, they didn't opt in for my webinar. Maybe they were busy. Maybe they didn't want to sit through a webinar. I'm going to retarget them to my pieces of power content. I'm going to give them one more chance to become a lead in either becoming a lead by watching 25% or more of my video or turning into a lead by asking me for one of my free things. Chris just asked a question. I recently bought a subscription to ClickFunnels so I can get rid of Aweber. Do you use these services? No. As a matter of fact, I'm very simple. All of my clients' funnels do not use any type of automated services or webinar automations. I know Aweber is like an email. I've used Aweber before, but now I use Kartra, so it's all in one. No, I only use Kartra. So let's talk about troubleshooting, and then I'll open it up to questions about what we talked about today. Only about what we talked about. We're gonna keep things simple to power content. Okay, so here's another change that I made. Okay. KPIs for power content. Here's why I changed the second KPI. If you've been with me for a while, you would notice that used to be $1 per 100% video view. If we go back here, power content is built to generate leads in 2 ways. Those who watch 25% or more of the video get put onto an invisible list. Could pay for $1 a lead. I would all day long, especially with rising ad costs, right? So that's why I changed this to $1 per 25% video view. That's the new KPI. The 100% video view was tripping too many people up. So the two things I look for, just so that we're clear, 15 cents per through play before 5,000 impressions. Now, here's another thing I get a lot. Let your power content videos run. Okay. I see too many people turn their ads on and off. Here's why. Because of the iOS update, Facebook lost a lot of data. The way that Facebook optimizes these is based on a through play. Okay. The way that Facebook optimizes this is through play. Facebook needs a certain amount of conversions to optimize. In a video view campaign, its version of conversion is through plays. So it needs a certain amount of through plays before it'll take a look at the audience who is completing a through play and go find more of that audience. I see people like freaking out. I'm not getting, whatever per through play. It's been, how long has it been? 2 days. Go open up a bottle of wine. Actually, open up a bottle of 4 wines and don't look at it for the next 7 days. Don't turn off your ads too soon. I guarantee there's people in this room, if they had been running $5 ads for the last year, they would be in a very different place right now. Very different. Lots of opportunity. This is just for Facebook. YouTube, unfortunately, is not as sophisticated as Facebook. That's why I always say Facebook is still my #1 platform. A lot of people want to poo-poo on Facebook, but it is still the easiest platform for newbies to get results. YouTube is a very broad platform. Yes, there are some low-hanging fruit that I just showed you on YouTube. But just so you guys know, like if because a lot of people are like, well, should I switch to YouTube from Facebook? I'm like, no. Start on Facebook, because a lot of people are like, well, I can't get my offer to convert on Facebook. Well, it's not going to convert on YouTube either. If you can't get something to convert on Facebook, it's not going to convert on YouTube. So for YouTube, the KPIs that I look for are just less than 25 cents per view. And I just want a certain like click-through rate. I usually look at 2.5 per click-through rate. I look for a little higher with power content. Also, you're going to see in the walkthrough, we're using YouTube in feed ads, not YouTube in stream ads. There's a difference. In feed ads are organic in the platform. The reason that you're going to use in feed ads is because you can comment, people can comment on those videos. And there's also a video I shot on how I do the 2-step for YouTube, because you can't like message people or anything like that, but I'll put that as a resource spot underneath this video as well. I can jam for about 10 or 15 minutes if anyone has any questions. Did you guys find this helpful today? Was this a good update to the current training? Not much has changed though, huh? A lot of you guys who have been with me for a while, not much has changed. We've just changed a couple of tactical things. But the main strategy is still there. Cindy, I'm not sure I understand when you say converting profile to a page, can you select only one type of list? I did not select any type of list. It's just my Facebook profile, and it just converted all of my friends to followers. Yeah. Crystal says, thanks for giving comfort of knowing my first power con. Y'all can unmute yourselves. I allowed it to you guys to unmute. Yeah, so if you guys want a one-on-one session, yeah, just go to the back of the program and get a power hour. Because of the volume of people. Yeah.
Where do these recordings end up? I'm sorry to interrupt you. I thought you were paused.
Yeah, no worries. They're in the back of the program. This one though, however, will be the new power content training.
Okay, I see it. So it'll be in the get ready protocol.
So it will be in the underneath the power content section.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. I'm gonna replace this with the power content workshop.
But do you know how sometimes you do videos like in your Telegram group? Where do those end up? Because they disappear and then I can't find them. Oh, they're on YouTube. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, now my YouTube is monetized, so I try to get as many like videos and stuff on YouTube as possible.
Awesome. That makes total sense.
Yeah, I don't have to pay for my ads on YouTube anymore, like, because YouTube gives me money to put my content there, and then I give YouTube money to advertise there, so it's kind of like an even swap. So that's why I've been doing a lot of stuff on YouTube. Michelle actually just asked a really good question. I draw a lot when I teach. Are power content videos best with being on camera, or can I use my overhead camera when I'm drawing and be off camera? Absolutely. I always suggest though being on camera for the first, like for the intro, for the headline promise of value, and then you could switch cameras. It does help doing different types of videos and angles, and it just depends. But I find that talking head videos do really, really well, as long as you can keep the interest of the audience. And so switching screens, like what you do, Michelle, works really well. Using a whiteboard, like what I do, works really well. Walking and talking works really, really well. You just make sure that the video makes sense with the topic that you're talking about.
My main thing is not knowing where to start because I'm brand new with marketing. So like I've been laying the foundation, posting content. So you're saying I should go live every day. And I'm a nutritionist and my focus is on cardiovascular health. So I'm wanting to drive people to, I guess, an email list or to capture leads so I can sell them my done for you digital products. And I've got all the stuff created. I'm just trying to generate sales. So the power content method is used to create a video, to create a warm traffic or warm audience. Because I'm still trying to understand the terminology and vocabulary within the marketing space. But being able to collect data from Facebook and then send them to my sales page, that's what I'm trying to figure out, where you're getting your sales page.
So that is not a power content strategy. That is an offer strategy. So you'll want to use the lead generation, which is mission number 2. Power content, just so I'm clear, we are not sending people to opt into anything. Mm-hmm. We're not sending people to buy anything. Like power content is built to have conversations and give value.
Okay. That's what I'm trying to do. So it shows the algorithms to my page so people can interact and come there. And then I can retarget those people who have engaged with the ads with the offer.
Absolutely. Yep.
Okay. But you don't use like you use all Kartra, and Kartra has all the features like Kajabi or a landing page software. Yep.
I switched actually from I started with ClickFunnels. Mm-hmm. And then I made the switch to Kartra.
Okay. I'm brand new with all this stuff, so I haven't even like dabbled into it. I'm just trying to figure it all out, and I've like switched from ConvertKit to Aweber.
Okay, so if you're a beginner, I mean, I haven't seen the new ClickFunnels 2.0 yet. ClickFunnels to me was the easiest to navigate. Kartra is easy too. Kajabi, in my experience, is the hardest. Like I still, like when I have clients that have Kajabi, I'm like, oh, please God, just hire someone technical to do this. I don't want to. But I don't know. Kajabi has just the whole pipeline thing has just been like super, super confusing. See guys, I'm not technical. See guys, like I am like not technical at all.
No, I appreciate it. I'll look into Kartra.
Yeah, absolutely. Guys, if you have a question, just unmute yourselves. Literally, let's just unmute ourselves. Nisa just asked a really good question though. I'm going to answer this and then I'm going to go to audible questions because it's way more fun. It's not fun watching replays whenever I have to read the question. Nisa just asked, how do you stay motivated when you have a power content video bomb? No comments, not many views. How do you get back? Just do another one. You got to want that. At the end of the day, and this is not picking on her or anything, but this is for anyone that's watching, you have to want this. This is our business, right? Like we're not just playing on the side. Like this isn't a hobby. Like we have to get good. We're going to suck. Like, remember I told you guys we're all going to suck. If you go back, you can go back all the way to my profile, April of 2018. I sucked on video. I sucked for probably 80% of the 100 something days. There's a couple of you guys that, you know, that have been with me for a really long time, saw me in my whole progression. Like I sucked. Like I did not perfect this power content until like 3 or 4 months in, because I was like, shit. But here's what I will tell you. It was probably the first 70 or 80 days. It was freaking crickets. It was crickets. But once I started getting traction, guess what people started doing? Crap, this girl's got a lot of value. They started watching all the way from the beginning, commenting for my value bomb. Then it would get put back into the newsfeed. New people would see this video. Before I knew it, I had 10 or 11 videos that I had recorded 3 months ago back in the newsfeed because people were finding them. We can't look through the lens of where we are now. We have to look from the lens of what is it going to be like if I keep doing this for 3 months straight, right? You're going to get better. You just have to keep going. Most people give up right before they have that big breakthrough.
Can I just agree very much with what you're saying?
Absolutely.
When I first started doing, I do live video, only live, because I hate editing. And when I first started doing those in like 2018, I was so broke and so desperate. I just needed more clients. I'm a trademark attorney, but I started doing live videos, and my practice, it's not like an instant thing. It took like 2 months of like doing them nearly every day. But it was so easy to do. I could just turn on the camera, talk for like 3 to 5 minutes, and then that was it, right? I didn't have to do any editing or anything like that, but I did upload them to YouTube. So now I have a YouTube channel with over 500 videos on it. It gets me clients every week. Every week I get calls. And honestly, you're going to hate me for saying this, Laurel. I haven't done any content for like 5 months now, and I'm still getting phone calls. Okay. So it really does work. Like, listen to Laurel, and it doesn't matter how much you think you suck. I sucked. Okay. Like go to my YouTube channel, Trademark Doctor, and see how much I sucked. Okay. You can like page back, but it's okay, because the suck is only for a limited time, and then you get better at it, and then it doesn't suck anymore. So, but you have to put in the work to suck, and then suddenly one day you don't suck. So that's all I wanted to say.
Yep. And I'll add to that. And so Angela and I actually came online, I think around the same time. Like Angela and I have been friends since I started. Her and Barb were part of my very first group ever.
Yep.
And
I still love you so much.
And it's like, but Angela, like what I taught today, it's the same thing, right? That I taught 3.5 years ago.
Yeah. I mean, you always have to tweak stuff because, you know, things change, the algorithms change, whatever. But I mean, and I haven't built out that back part of the funnel. I mean, I'm kind of lame, Laurel, because all I do is run the power content, but it's getting me so much work that I kind of don't need to build out the back part of the funnel. But I have a second business that I'm setting up, so I'm definitely going to build out the back part of the funnel for that. But this content is so easy to do, and everybody, I say it's easy, but only because I've been doing it for a while, but it'll be easy for you eventually too. Just stop being so self-conscious about it. Just go do it. Yeah, it'll suck at first. It doesn't really matter. Because you know what? No one's going to see your first videos anyway until the algorithm figures out, oh, she's doing live video every day. We better include her, right? It's true, right, Laurel?
Oh, absolutely. And one of the things, you know, how always people say is it's quality over quantity. No, you need quantity right now. Like you need.
Well, I mean, it needs to be answering somebody's question, right? To get people to look. But yeah, the more video I did, the more people started, you know, coming to me for trademark work. And I'm going to start doing more videos, by the way. We can have a private conversation about what's been going on over the last 5 months, including an international move. But yeah, it's been rough. So, but I've just basically been leaning on the legacy that I built from the last 4 years, or 4 years minus 5 months, where I was doing content.
Yeah. And I mean, just think like Angela, like, and this is for everybody, like in the program, I teach you guys what is it? The $500 a month video funnel, 3 pieces of power content, right? You create your people who are watching 25% or more of that video. and you're using boosted posts as retargeting, if you do nothing but that, you will be worlds ahead. Like whenever I do like my YouTube stuff, I have my power content on YouTube. And then every month I go and I see what are my most watched videos. And then I run $2 ads to those most watched videos of the people who've already watched the 3 pieces of power content. And I build. And every day I'm waking up to 20, 30 new subscribers. I have like Angela says, she hasn't done a video in 5 months. Nope. If you build enough good content and people are watching it, you will reap the rewards. Like I have clients who have not posted a YouTube video in 2 years that are still getting subscribers. We call it like the passive YouTube phase, right? Where you built the YouTube channel, so now it's just passive. Like people just come because like you're keeping good content on your channel and more people are watching it. So we just have to do it. Like honestly, it's not hard, but it's not easy at the same time.
Okay, so it's not easy only because people feel self-conscious when they first start, right? They're like, oh, I just messed up. You know what? One of the reasons why I started doing my videos live was because not only did I not want to edit, I didn't want to give myself an excuse to start over, right? So whatever happens live happens. If I screw up, if I say the wrong thing, I've done both of those things, okay? If my nose is running, I just wipe it and continue. I mean, literally, there's not a person that values my content that would say, oh, well, I'm not going to watch Angela anymore because she wiped her nose, right? It's like, I'm human. So if you like me here, then this is what you get when you hire me as your attorney. So if you like this, then you'll like me. And if you don't like this, then you should go hire somebody else, right? But it's so effective for showing people who you are. Like Laurel, you're exactly the same in person as you are on video. Delightful. And so it's a really great way to weed out the people who don't groove with you, right? Like if they don't like you on video, they're not going to like you in real life either. And they just shouldn't hire you. Right?
Hell yeah. I know. It's like one of those things like, guys, like I wear no makeup most of the time. I have bed hair. I haven't even straightened my hair. It's like swamp hair right now because it's like, but like, that's but literally like,
right?
Like, how much content
why hide it?
Like how much content would I have right now if I would wait? Oh, I need to straighten my hair. Oh, I need to literally, if you guys saw like right now, like on my shelf over there, I've got professional DSLR cameras, all of my freaking lights. I've got like all the lights I worked in television are over there. Guess what I shoot most of my videos on? This or this. Yeah. Like most of because if I took the time to set up my nice little, like I've got one of my lights there. If I took time to set up, I would never get anything done. Ever.
Totally.
You guys wouldn't like
and
right?
I have the same kind of bare bones setup. I do everything on my Logitech camera with the eyeglasses plug in for my Mac that allows me to like do this, this zoom thing. So I can like zoom out, zoom in, all that here.
Is it a Brio?
What? Yeah, it's a Brio. It's a Logitech Brio. So it does HD if you want, which is great. I think the most important thing to have is good sound, because if people are turned off by the sound or it's staticky or there's a lot of background noise, people will quit. But, like I don't have any lighting. I'm not using any lighting right now. If I turned on the lights, it looks a little better, right? Not really. Here's the other light. Wait.
Hey, Laurel, can I add in one thing that I would tell everybody to do?
Yes, absolutely.
Because I know I've been here way long too. And don't be afraid to share with Laurel what you're doing so she can tell you, I don't know what you're doing. Like literally you need people who don't know anything about your service or product to tell you you're not explaining it well enough for someone to want to buy. Because
uh-oh, Nina, you went away somehow.
Oh, sorry. I was trying to see if you could even see me, but I help clients too, like Laurel does. I look at their website and I'm like, hey, I can't even tell what you do. Like I had a lady the other day, she did 80% bounce rate on her website. And I was like, I have no idea what you do for people going to your website. I thought she helped people with local information. She was actually a realtor. So just make sure somebody who doesn't know what you're doing, like Laurel's amazing at that. She can see it in like seconds and really help you narrow down what you are going to give to people so that anybody that comes to your website knows. Because if they don't know, they're not going to buy from you. So that's what I've learned from Laurel, like just watching her do that with all these people. What are you selling? What? How do you help them? So that's just don't be afraid. The only thing that I really noticed that Laurel changed about, I didn't think her videos were bad. She's gotten more strict. Like, she's like, you have 5 minutes to get in here. You better ask your questions at this time. Like today I got on at 1:06 and I was like, oh my God, I'm not going to get in. I'm not going to get in. So that's the only thing I've noticed that changed.
Yeah, that was one of the things that I had to optimize.
It's
Laurel,
good.
can you hear me?
Yeah, I think Sonia, right? Sonia,
yeah, I didn't think you could hear me. With the content strategy, Laurel, are we following the same script? We can't be following the same script for every video. Is it just going live and just recording whatever topic you want to talk about and that's it?
The power content template.
So we follow that for every time we go live? Every time. Okay. So
it will increase the amount of people who are watching your video. And
what about the value bomb then? So you have to have something different for every video?
I use the same one across multiple videos.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So one of the things that's helped me is anytime that I'm going live with 2 intentions. One, that I'm going to give a value bomb away, but also that this video can be a value bomb for another video.
Okay.
Because remember, my main strategy over this past year, have you guys noticed my main strategy has been YouTube? And so a lot of the value bombs that I've been giving away has been videos that go to my YouTube channel. Because the main goal at the end of last year was to get enough public watch hours to be able to monetize. But the way that everything I do is strategic. Like whenever I was set out to grow my YouTube channel, I was like, every single video that I'm going to do here is going to be a value bomb for a piece of power content that I'm going to do on Facebook. That's going to be my strategy. I'm going to use Facebook to drive traffic to my YouTube channel. So don't ever think that a value bomb has to be like a cheat sheet, a PDF or anything like that. It can be another video. As a matter of fact, I like it when it's another video because like you can even look at the data. The more that people spend time with you, the warmer and warmer they get, right? If you can get someone to spend 3 hours with you in a day, that person's probably going to become a client. Like a while ago, someone asked me about Lean on Laurel. Now, like so because of the volume of applications we get for Lean on Laurel, now I'm only taking Lean on Laurel clients if they could do one, come through on a power hour. So if you want to be in Lean on Laurel, you have to do a power hour with me first. Or 2, do something that I'm going to call the ads accelerator, which I'm going to be talking about here soon. I'm going to tease y'all with that, but y'all are going to love it. For those of you guys who ever, wanted to work with me on ads and setup and all of that fun stuff, you guys are going to like that offer. So, but for those of you guys, I know someone was asking a while ago, just go to the power hour section of the program and you can book it there. So Cindy just asked, how does Facebook drive traffic to YouTube? The strategy I just showed you guys, the value bomb. They watch a live, they comment for the value bomb. I send them the value bomb, boom. Now my Facebook traffic's on YouTube.
Oh, I love that. That's great.
Yeah, like that's my TikTok strategy too. Like my Instagram strategy, my TikTok strategy, and my Facebook strategy, LinkedIn strategy, actually all of my strategies all lead to YouTube. If you guys watch me like on all Twitter, everything, my strategy is to send YouTube traffic. YouTube traffic gives me Lean on Laurel clients because YouTube's my longer form content. I treat almost every YouTube video like a webinar. So Sean says listed or unlisted? Listed. Here's a secret. And those of you guys who have been with me for a while, the content that you guys get on my YouTube channel is the same content you get in the $7 program, is the same content you get in Lean on Laurel. There's no difference in the content. You guys are paying to be here in this room with me, to get the weekly Q&A, to get a personalized strategy for $7 a month, right? People in my upper level pay for more time with me and more personalization. I have nothing to lose by giving all my content away for free. I just help more people. What you guys get in the $7 program, though, is organization, right? Who wants to go through all of my YouTube channel and try to figure out the path, right? Here, at least it's divided into missions and cheat sheets and all of that fun stuff. So Renzo says, hey, Laurel, in the organic strategy, which group should be a psychologist, performance coach comment? I'm not sure what you mean. Can you give me more context behind that question? You can unmute yourself. Sometimes it's easier to have a conversation than text.
Hey there.
Hey.
Yes, much easier. So we tried something similar to what you suggest in the organic strategy for a few months, commenting in groups. But what we noticed is that where those groups where the conversation is around psychology or anxiety or, you know, personal problems, usually our target is not there. You look into the people, into the members of the group, and you don't have anyone which is in our target. So coaches, course creators, entrepreneurs. And on the other hand, groups where there is agency owners, course creators, etc., it's rare to find something that revolves around mindset or psychology. So we don't know how to do that particular point of the organic strategy.
Yeah. So if your audience isn't hanging out in Facebook groups, don't hang out in Facebook groups.
Mm-hmm. So somewhere else, like LinkedIn or something like this.
Mm-hmm. So who's your target audience?
Well, self-employed agency owners, usually between 6-7 figures.
Oh, there's tons of Facebook groups for that.
Yeah, but there are a lot, but usually the conversations about mindset and psychology, personal problems, it seems out of place, out of topic. It seems like you are pushing it. You know what I mean?
It just depends. Like if you're hanging out like where coaches and course creators are looking to make money, probably the wrong Facebook group. But if you're hanging out in Facebook groups where coaches and course creators who are making 7 figures are working on their mindset, personal development, probably a lot better place to hang out.
There are groups like that, you mean? Okay.
Yeah. One of the things that I do is I spend money to get access to groups of people who have paid a lot of money. Like for instance, like all of the people like Amy Porterfield, Joel Irway, like all of these people who had my audience, I pay for their programs just to get access to their Facebook group so I could be helpful.
Mm-hmm. It's difficult to be helpful. That's what I mean. But yeah, part of that is useful. I can use that.
Yeah. What is difficult? Why is it difficult to be helpful?
In the instruction, you say, you know, provide value. We can find the right fit, like the right conversation to contribute. Maybe starting them could be one way.
Are you using the search function of the Facebook group?
Yes. Didn't find usually more than 2-3 posts where we usually comment. We see action. We see people joining our group. We have a lot of good response to what we can provide. That's why I want to do it.
No, I meant in the Facebook groups that you're hanging out in. Are you using the search function for questions that people are asking?
Yes. And usually I found 2-3 posts, 5 posts, a little bit.
Can I chip in here, Laurel? See if it
absolutely.
Helps. Yeah. So Renzo, maybe just stimulate this. If you're finding the conversation isn't bringing up mindset or mental game, then just throw a few ideas or concepts in that are appropriate or opposite for the conversation. So when Angela was
starting it out.
Yeah. So when Angela was talking earlier on about just doing the thing, got immediately in my head, one of the phrases that we've got is evidence builds confidence. If you don't do the thing, you don't get the evidence. If you don't get the evidence, you can't build the confidence. Suddenly you're into a mindset conversation, not a business conversation. Does that make sense? You're just building a bridge for the conversation to move from where they are to something it's kind of like the bridge between what somebody's focused on and wants rather than what they need. And you're trying to do that. Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
So maybe think about that.
Thank you. Thank you, Dino.
Hey, Dino, nice to see you. You didn't get enough of me this past weekend?
Yeah, well, we didn't really get a chance to talk, did we? Too many people
I
wanted a piece
know.
of you, and I let that happen. So I
Oh,
kind of figured
so
we catch up eventually.
Dino and I were together in Phoenix at an event. But
It was very
man,
cool.
Dino and I, guess what Dino and I got to do this weekend? We got to hang out with Jay Abraham. We got to hang out with Joe Polish. We got to hang out with Nick Peterson. We got to hang out with, oh my God, so many people that we did not even know were going to be at the event that we were at.
It was very, very cool. Yeah.
Yep. And plus I got to meet Dino, which I didn't know. I didn't really know what he looked like because his Twitter is like an NFT.
Yeah, this is true. Yeah.
Everyone was coming up to me, Laurel. And I'm like, but like all of my, like, cause there was a lot of people who I know from Twitter, right? And everyone was coming up, Laurel. And a lot of people, because my mentor had them put their profile picture as an NFT. And so everyone was coming up to me and I had no idea who anyone was because all I knew them as their cartoon face. It was so funny. Everyone knew me because I didn't change my face to an NFT. But it was funny. It was, and I'm going to be breaking down a lot of that stuff like on Telegram. Like I'm going to use YouTube too, but I'll post it all in Telegram to keep it all nice and organized. But there's so many things that like this weekend that I learned like new, and I just decided I was like going to take all of my mentor's principles and I was going to start from the beginning of when I started working with him and break down all of his principles and give you guys real examples of things I changed in my business along the way, because I think for some of you guys, it might be helpful to see like some before and afters, because one of the biggest things, and I'll end with this because I think this is really good to sign off on, is one of the things that I learned over the last 3 years is that the internet marketing space will have you chasing more, right? And it'll get you actually further away from where you want to go. I'll give you an example. I have so many people who I personally coach, and when they come to me, they're like, well, I'll ask them the question, like, what would it take for you to make X amount of dollars per month and get to stay home with your kids and, you know, spend the time with your family like you're asking? And a lot of them will say, well, $7,000 or $8,000. And I'll be like, okay, we'll get them there. And then as soon as they get to that 8,000 and they'll get a freak month and they'll make 10,000 or 11,000, they'll go out and buy a stupid new car or a stupid new house. And then they're worse off than they are when they first came to me and needing help. Right? Because they said that they wanted to get to this certain level. And then what they did was they went and put themselves in a worse situation by upgrading their lifestyle. So now they have to make more money. Right? That is the biggest danger that I see with people who are in this space. And so as you're going through my program and as you're watching these videos and as you're making your plan, right? Keep in mind is like, where am I clear on where I want to go? Because a lot of times when I ask people, well, what are you trying to do? And they're like, well, I want to make $10,000 a month. That's an arbitrary number. $10,000 a month, like so many people would be well off with 7 or 8, or some people would need 11 to 12, right? And so like, sit down and do the math, because I guarantee you this, there's nothing better than figuring out, oh, I need less than what I thought I did. Because then once you have what you need to get, everything else is lagniappe. And I will tell you, the stress off of your shoulders, you'll be doing everything that I'm telling you guys for fun, and you'll make even more money because there's no stress and there's no desperation, right? Because a lot of us are putting out content coming from a place of scarcity because we're trying to get to that next level. So everyone just sit down. I know some of you guys are more advanced, but those of you guys who are just coming into the space, really sit down and do the math. What will it take for me to do this? How can I get Laurel to help me achieve this? Because guys, we have plenty of time in the $7 program. The last call we had only had 6 people on it. There's like my call, like there's a lot of time to get time with me in this program. Even though we have 2 Zoom calls, you have weekly Q&A. lots of time, but I want you guys to really figure out, like, what is it that I want? Because then we could actually help you build a plan to help you get there. But you have to stay consistent, right? The worst thing that you can do is turn ads on, turn ads off, turn ads on, turn ads off. Even if your power content, going back to what Angela was saying, right? Even if your videos suck, you're still going to be better off than the person who's not doing video at all, right? As long as you're clear on two things, okay, you guys are going to be okay, even if you suck on video. If you suck on video, do power content with your podcast. Run ads to your podcast. If you suck on video, suck at podcast, run blog posts as power content. Still the same thing, maybe not quite as effective, but still. You have to figure out a way to communicate with your audience, right? Practice your videos, but it all comes down to two things. Am I talking to the right people? And two, am I actually saying things that they want to hear? Those are the two most important things. If you get those two things right, no matter what type of content, and you're being consistent, I challenge you guys, do 100 days of content. It doesn't have to be video, just 100 days of pure value. 100 days of giving away content that you normally charge for. It'll change. Your business will be 100% different in the next 90 days if you do that. Everyone I've given that challenge to has come back and been like, oh my gosh, like, easy. Yes, Sonia. You guys have my support. You guys know I'm here. Don't go binge watch all, like, I have to fuss at people. I'm like, don't stop binge watching the content. This is not meant to be a step-by-step course. I built this as a you guys notice I built this as a program, not as a course. Renzo says they just launched their first ever power content 2 hours ago. Congratulations. That is awesome. You just did what so many people are too scared to do. Like, just do it. I'm here to be everyone's support. You guys had me through the Ask Laurel. If you guys go through all the proper stuff, you guys are going to get my help. There's plenty of Laurel love to go around. I show up here twice a month. I show up every week. And if you guys need extra help, book a power hour. If there's none on the schedule, tell me. I'll tell Christina to add some. But anyway, you guys have a great day. We spent some really valuable time together today. I love each and every one of you guys. Barb, Angela, Nina, hadn't seen you guys in a while. It's very, very great to see you guys again. Awesome. Always awesome to jam with you guys. You guys have an amazing day. Angela, I cannot wait to catch up and see where you went, girl.